This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com. Wearing my ASU sweater today because we got some sad news to report. Billy Graham, wearing his ASU t-shirt here, made a post through his Facebook. Webmaster Mike tonight saying, "Hi fans, there will be no wrestling post tonight. Just this statement from me. I'm currently having heart problems," which is the title of this message. I am getting ready to go to the Mayo Clinic to be checked out. I'm not feeling well. And if the hospital admits me, which I'm sure they will, for further testing tomorrow, I'll have Mike, my Facebook admin, give you an update. Superstar BG and his atrial fibrillation, easy for me to say, was the title of that. He has had a lot of heart problems over the years. And the last time I was in Phoenix, I wasn't able to see him because he hadn't had his COVID vaccines yet. And he, of course, would have been one of the people that would have died if he had caught COVID with all of his health issues. But the time before that, which I believe was 2019, when I saw him, he would get out of breath after walking 15 or 20 feet. Like, he'd have to walk. It makes me sad to even think about it. Sit somewhere to catch his breath and then continue on due to those heart issues. So he does have a GoFundMe ongoing for his medical issues. So I am very sorry to hear about that. And I hope it's nothing too serious. He is a survivor. He's getting up in years, but he's one of the all-time greats. And I wish WWE would do a tribute show to him in Madison Square Garden, where he held all sorts of attendance records, including the most consecutive main event sellouts. Wish they would give him one more send-off at MSG before his final bell rings. We've been covering to death. I'm actually sick of talking about it, the plane ride from hell on this channel. I interviewed Sean Stasiak earlier tonight, who was known as Meat, about his experience on the plane ride from hell. I did a review of the Dark Side of the Ring documentary on here last night. And Tommy Dreamer put out a statement today regarding his comments in the documentary, and he said, quote, "Regarding my comments on Dark Side of the Ring, it was never my intention to offend, hurt, or victim shame anyone. I understand my comments were insensitive and could trigger emotions in someone's own personal past. I do not condone sexual misconduct of any kind. I apologize to anyone I offended from the bottom of my heart. I am sorry." So that's his statement on it. Impact Wrestling suspended him. Again, I don't know what kind of contract he had. I'm sure that's not going to affect him too much on the independent scene, but if he was getting regular pay from Impact Wrestling, I'm pretty sure like a regular salary. Obviously, you don't want to ever lose a salary. Speaking of Tommy Dreamer, of course, he was famous for his time in ECW. Battleground Championship Wrestling sold out the ECW arena last night. Congratulations to them. I was actually supposed to attend that event and cover it, but sadly the border for driving is closed right now, even though Philadelphia is only 6-ish hours away from here. Their next event is December 18th, and I really hope to be able to cover that one. I'm also going to be interviewing Raven very soon. Raven was part of this Battleground Championship Wrestling event. I hate talking about this, but I will bring this up again because I've been harassed by several people online about this. I'll just say this calmly because as upset as I am about it, there's no point getting mad over it because obviously I'm never going to get my money because of the type of people these are. But the company I did a collaboration with, SWE Fury, agreed to return to me the last footage that they owe to me and pay me $956.80 on July 21st. They never actually paid me that, and I don't know if they couldn't afford their lawyer bills or what, but their lawyer who agreed to that no longer represents them. Even though apparently it's not even an official company anymore, according to the state of Texas, they are claiming that they don't owe me any money, even though they do. And when I asked one of the owners, Lacey Von Erich, Lacey Blindberry, about the situation of the company not giving me any money or footage back, she actually said I could buy the whole company. So for a company that supposedly hates me so much, they actually offered to sell me the company when I didn't even ask to buy it. All I wanted was the footage that they actually agreed to give me on July 21st, as well as my money. So you can see here, she said, quote, "You can buy all of the SWE Fury footage, TV contracts, action figure deals with tons of wrestlers if you want. Tom is selling too. We want to do something else. Lacey Blindberry," end quote. So even though she sent me that when I didn't even ask to buy the company, and there's at least 4 other people that I know of that she also offered to sell the company to, including Jerry Bostic of World Class Pro Wrestling. He said I didn't care. He didn't care if I said that she offered it to him or not. But they're denying that they're trying to sell this thing when she says right here that she wants out, with her partner Tom Lance also wants out, and now she's trying to say I'm a liar. If you don't like me so much, why did you offer me to buy the company? Doesn't make any sense at all. And I was told by Jason Jarrett, one of the people that used to own the company, that says he doesn't own it anymore, the TV contracts that you're saying are for sale here have been given, not even sold, to Booker T. They've literally been given to Booker T. And actually, I got my phone right here. Let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun here, since you folks like to call me a liar. Let's look at the exact message that Jason Jarrett sent me. He said, quote, "Saw your show today. Those are almost all facts. Once I got bought out, I was no longer privy to the attorney's information or the status of the case. I had no way to access the footage or get it to you. I do recall seeing mention of it in the agreement sent by their attorney." When he says there, he means SWE's. "Yes, my company did sponsor the Irving event, technically the kids camp, for $500. Yes, the SWE LLC was dissolved upon my exit. That was a stipulation of my buyout. As far as if they are operating legally on the last 2 events they ran, I have no idea. You are correct. They currently do not have any TV contracts, as I negotiated several of them and negotiated a replacement show, a much better replacement in my opinion. I've never had any ill will with you and have never tried to slight you or anyone for that matter in any way. The potential of SWE was great at one point, but each show it changed. After the Carthage event, by the Statler show, I knew mentally I was done. The rest is history. End quote. So the Carthage event is the first event that Lacey Von Erich was part of, coincidentally. So again, that's one of the old owners. So painting me out to be a bad guy when you guys agreed to pay me what you owe me, and you legitimately offered me and other people to buy the company that you're denying you wanted to sell, that really doesn't have any value because he already negotiated the contracts away with other people. He tells me right there. So what is your company worth? You don't own a ring. What else? What else did she say she had? Toy contracts? If you have such a great action figure deal, why do you want to get rid of the company? As far as wrestler contracts, you're an independent company. What wrestlers do you have bound by contracts? You'd be the first independent I've heard of that has wrestlers to exclusive contracts. Wrestlers are independent contractors. And your last several shows, you falsely advertised main performers on those shows. So your reputation is also bad. So that's all I'm going to say about those folks. The truth is the truth. I'm a truthful person, and I regret that I was ever associated with that company. I'll get into a couple of your questions because there's like 90 of them on here at this point. Prayers for Billy Graham, who is a great guy. I can't say it enough. Swaggy says, anyone else feel like Tommy only apologized due to the backlash he received? No comment. Gerardo, hope everything's okay with Billy. Lots of prayers for Billy. Michael says, superstar Billy Graham got my prayers. Very sorry about all this about Billy Graham. Someone says if WWE doesn't want to give him a last hurrah, they can go F themselves. Prayers for Billy. To Tommy's credit, they were different times. Someone picks up. I don't know if it was ever acceptable. Like what she's saying is hearsay because it was never proven in court. It is hearsay. Whether you guys like it or not, it was never proven in court, and it's only coming public 20 years later. But getting someone cornered naked and telling them to grab your dick, that was never acceptable 20 years ago. If that actually happened 20 years ago in 2001, you could not corner a flight attendant naked and tell them to grab your dick. That would not have been acceptable then. So I wouldn't say that's different times. Like that's 2001. Ralph says Dreamer needs to retire anyways. Jimmy says fans are soft these days. Real number says it's ridiculous the backlash Tommy Dreamer has been receiving. Jimmy Smith talking about the SWE people as scum and garbage. Victor, why did they close? Bad business decision, overspending, poor management, making people like Teddy Long their head bookers above Kevin Sullivan. And by the way, another sign, Kevin Sullivan has now joined World Class Pro Wrestling, where he's going to be co-bookers with Eric Embry. World Class Pro Wrestling runs the Cotillion October 3rd. And Southern Junction in Irving, Texas, December the 11th. Motley Crue. That's right. I'm a huge Motley Crue fan. Swaggy making fun of them trying to sell a company without a ring. Yes, they basically ripped me off. Sorry to say that. Thoughts on Matt Bourne as the original Doink? He played that character well. That was the best one. Carlos, people that I don't know what you mean about letting it go, but if you're talking about that, they need to pay me for me to let it go. But the reason why I talked about it there is because they're spreading false information when all I'm doing is telling my true experiences. Pubert, the Texas title, World Class Pro Wrestling recognizes the Blood Hunter as the Texas champion. Pulsar Lights is Flair a nudist? I don't know, but from many reports, many shoot interviews, many books, including his own book, from what I recall, when he's drunk, he likes to take off his clothes. Carlos says the Flair situation, what he means for letting it go. Stu says they're selling a name worth absolutely zero. Hello to Victor Murphy. David, Sherry Martel was great. One of the best managers ever. I won't get into any more. I'm gonna take Carlos's tip here, and I'm gonna stop talking about the plane ride from hell. And those other morons, I'm gonna stop talking about them as well because they're not worth my breath. Yeah, the hush money wasn't enough, I guess, for the plane ride from hell. And speaking of that other company, their money apparently ran out as well. Bill joining live for the first time. Well, on that note, Bill, you got the same name as superstar Billy Graham. It's his kayfabe name. So let's continue those prayers and well wishes for a great guy, a true mentor to me and a true hero and one of the all-time greats in pro wrestling. And he's a tough guy. Let's hope he has access to the Mayo Clinic, one of the best hospitals ever. They've played a big role on why he's still living at almost 80 years old. So God bless him. I truly love him like he's my grandfather.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99